the revisionism of, the forced updates thing just constantly pisses me off. I mean, at least Counter-Strike, it was mostly the era of incremental patches. So you really can still get the old versions. But, you know, when I was replaying Half-Life 2, which now it kind of launches as Half-Life 2 Complete, and you can play all the versions in the same thing, which I actually don't like. And even that has had its own problems. But fucking around in just Half-Life 2, the original Half-Life 2, not the episodes, but the first Half-Life 2. Even just playing Root Canal, or I don't know, does it count as Root Canal or whatever the fuck? I don't know, the airboat part. I always call it Root Canal. But even just driving around in that, and I'm not like necessarily super remember everything, like I'm not laser precision on that, but there's a lot of stuff I started noticing really fast that shit just didn't look how I remembered it. It's like, for an example, first thing I noticed, which, I mean, this is actually an improvement. It seems like the draw distance is way further now, which is nice because I disable fog. Fog is one of the stupidest things ever to be put in video games. I fucking hate that shit. Fog, bloom, um, deferred renderers. Why is it always the most just parasitic shit that humans always converge on, right? Just the most eyesore shit is what they always want to put in the fucking graphics engine. But the draw distance seems further now, which is cool. But I started noticing a lot of shit is like, I don't remember this being here in the original. And some of the videos I was watching apparently confirmed that to some extent, which is the main reason I would like to find a vanilla, or like day one disc version of Half-Life 2. I mean, if I find my discs, I might, do whatever I need to like crack it or whatever. But I would really like to have the OG files to do a direct comparison, because watching videos online is not necessarily the most reliable. As I mentioned at the start of all these videos here, there's so many different build versions that get called the same. Like, there's multiple builds of Gold Source Half-Life that get counted as 1.0, right? And then, for example, 1000 is actually the first version of Blue Shift, right? So it's not, even though you would think it's all the same, it's like, no, 1000 is actually different from 1.0. And so how do you know if they really got it correct? I mean, even the speedrunners didn't realize that the old engine version they were using was actually illegitimate or whatever. So it's just so all over the place. But I would like to be able to, find my own disc if I can. But I don't know, I might try to get, one of the downloads online set up, because I found some ISOs, but I haven't tried any yet. Because, I mean, VMFs are pretty much literally a text file. So you could actually just diff them and see what the exact differences are. Um, I mean, the easiest thing might be to just, look at the BSP file size. And I don't know if the file is different in any way, like I could check the, like Shay 256 sums or whatever. But I would like to be able to play both. And because I haven't done a ton of research yet. But I've been looking at some videos trying to, compare the two. But some of them I seen pretty much confirmed the feeling I had, that they've fucked up at the very least root canal and, the airboat part in general, which is like my favorite part of the fucking game. Like, I had already noticed a lot of changes on like root canal where you're like, the very start of that, like the actual, like before the airboat. But then I seen some stuff in the videos I watched that showed other differences that I hadn't noticed yet. And it's just weird to see all this weird, like, Mandela effect stuff. But it's like the false memory is a byproduct of the fact that they've been just doing all these silent changes for 20 fucking years. It's not a flaw with your memory. It's a flaw with them just fucking with. It's like, when did. I never thought that I would see Val, like, especially when I was younger and I was obsessed with Half-Life. Never thought I would see the day of Valve be, it's like Gabe Newell is just George Lucas, right? It's like, dude, quit fucking with shit. What is wrong with the fucking original version? You know? But it gets in the way of the nostalgia, because it's really not nostalgia, because you're looking at a version that's not actually what you played. And it has a similar thing where, like, motherfuckers will play Black Mesa and then say they played Half-Life. It's like, fucking no, you didn't. It's way different. And Black Mesa sucks. All right, I'm just going to say it. I was personally aware of a lot of the motherfuckers that made that. And they're all a bunch of, like I said, just more of these child molester brain humans. They're just a bunch of shit dicks. So naturally they get paid to bastardize one of the best games of all fucking time. That would be like if Warren Spector, like, fucking personally co-signed, like, Deus Ex Revision or something, and everyone played that and then said they played Deus Ex. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? But, like, there's already confounders like that. I mean, even the PS2 version of Half-Life was significantly different in a lot of ways. But, I mean, that was a byproduct of the era. And it was a console port. And, that's another thing. I mentioned opposing force and other shit, because Gearbox made the PS2 port of Half-Life. And they did the expansions. Something else I get tired of is motherfuckers saying, oh, opposing force isn't canon, blue shift isn't canon. It's like, well, then they shouldn't be called fucking Half-Life then, asshole. Sorry, but fuck you, they're canon, okay? Yes, Half-Life Decay is canon. It's also the best Half-Life game. Suck a dick if you don't like it. Yeah, look, yet again, another two, reasonably attractive, believably, like, strong female characters as lead roles, and they're not just there to be tits and ass, and where the fuck are the feminists to ever talk about that? And then, of course, because it's not a glorified tit jiggle physics simulator, no dudes like it either. But sorry, but fuck you, it's canon. Alright. I swear to God, dude. Like, even the supposed fans of these games, it's like, how the fuck are you a fan of this? And just look at the bullshit that they'll co-sign. And it's like Valve was already bad enough. So holy fuck. But yeah, it's just weird to have to fucking, it's like you gotta have a fucking loop, like looking at the fucking game install to pick out all the discrepancies. It's just weird to have to become like the Romanian dude that's like the elevator expert. You have to become an expert on builds of Half-Life, you know. And now there's others that are kind of caught onto that. Like one of the Half-Life version 1 videos on YouTube, I seen motherfuckers in the comments saying, "What does it say the build version is in the console?" There's just so many of them, And like, if I remember correctly, my orange box that I know I still have, I don't know if I could still find my original disc release of Half-Life 2, like day one release, and not day one the demo for Half-Life 1, but I mean the day one release of Half-Life 2, like the literally release day I had Half-Life 2. I don't know where those discs are at, but I know I have my orange box discs. What I don't know what that is, Did Orange Box include Half-Life 2? I don't remember. I think it did at a point, maybe. But the thing is, the version, like for example, had the version of Half-Life 2 on the Game of the Year edition, and then also if it's on the Orange Box, are not going to be the same as the original release. And who knows what the exact changes are. I mean, like that one guy I mentioned didn't know that Half-Life 1 used to have a D3D renderer option. I remember when Half-Life 2 had DX levels all the way to DirectX 6. On the current version, the lowest they have is DirectX 8. Now, I remember when they got rid of DirectX 6, and then the lowest was DirectX 7, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure they did that. Or they just cut it straight to DX8. I don't know exactly on that one, but I do remember when it used to have DirectX 6. But, yeah, I don't know. Doing a real proper comparison on all the changes and this and that at some point is going to become impossible. And like I said in that one post I made, community, post I made, someday the actual like proper vanilla experience of Half-Life 2 is going to be as sought out as all of this, currently undiscovered leak stuff, right? Oh, they're looking for Sky Herb 01 or whatever, right? Or they still want the actual E3 like TV demo map or whatever. Someday just playing the fucking game the way it was the day it came out is going to be maybe impossible, right? Even if the versions on, way back are legit. Okay, well, dude, way back's not going to last forever either. And I remember the days of everyone said, "Oh, once it's on the internet, once it's on the internet, it's there forever." And I'm like, really? Because, dude, there's almost nothing that I know of personally. I'm talking thousands of dead links, and there are no Wayback links. Or if there is a Wayback archive, it's to a redirect that's a 404, or it's just a copy of the 404 page, or even my favorite one. They have a copy of the page, but none of the download links on there. That's actually the relevant part, right? Or like whatever sub pages or subdirectory. You know what I'm talking about? All the shit that it's like literally the front page or whatever, or the main page, and none of the shit that's actually relevant, right? Or the absolute worst, where they have the page, but like half of the images or almost none or none of the images got backed up. Like archive just didn't feel like it, I guess. One of them is a URL for a page about RenderMan, anti-aliasing and RenderMan, Pixar RenderMan. And I have the original link. Okay, well, it doesn't work. None of the stuff on the archive works. Except for a couple of versions that the images don't work. So again, it's like if you can't even find innocuous shit like that, and it's like to a point, Internet Archive not going down doesn't matter because most of the shit I'm looking for they don't even have. But yeah, someday nobody's going to make CD, DVD drives, Blu-ray drives anymore. Whatever. I mean, I haven't had a floppy drive in a computer for fucking 20 years. The PC I first built to play Half-Life 2 had one. I don't think I've had any one since then. And then the other one I built, that was kind of a little bit lower spec. It was just an Athlon, not an Athlon 60, or Athlon XP, not Athlon 64. Those had floppy drives, right? But someday DVD, Blu-ray, whatever is going to look as archaic as that. And it's like how much floppy drive stuff is lost forever. And whatever. It would just be really nice if Steam, Valve, whatever would just, let me play Half-Life 2 day one. But whatever, I'll just have the nostalgia the best I can.